Hello, my name is Triton Spade, and here are the latest China news you might have missed this week. The conflict in Israel-Palestine has had widespread ramifications, including outside of the Middle East. A man has been detained after stabbing incident involving an employee at Israel's embassy in Beijing. The victim, a 50-year-old diplomat's family member, was attacked in front of a supermarket in the city's Chaoyang district. The suspect is a 53-year-old individual involved in the, quote, small goods business. The victim, reportedly from Israeli embassy, is being treated in the hospital and his condition is stable. Video footage circulating on social media suggests multiple stabbings, but the authenticity of the videos cannot be independently verified. Witnesses describe the attacker as appearing non-Chinese, implying that he is a foreign national. The incident follows ongoing tensions in the Middle East due to the Israel-Hamas conflict. China, along with Russia, Turkey, and several Arab states, have called for calm and restraint in the conflict, urging peaceful coexistence. Unlike the United States, India, and many European countries, China has not condemned Hamas or explicitly supported Israel. China's long-standing policy is to steer clear of foreign conflicts, and some critics have urged China to take a stronger position and expressed disappointment over its response. The Middle East conflict is seen as a significant test for China's approach in the region, with China iterating its support for the two-state solution and an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel, a stance consistent with international norms. However, Israel and some critics have called for China to adopt a more specific and assertive position in response to the recent conflict. The ongoing war could affect the peace initiatives in the region, such as the Chinese brokered deal to restore diplomatic relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia. China has increased its willingness to engage in regional conflict mediation, with President Xi Jinping offering to facilitate peace talks when hosting Palestinian Authority leader Mahmoud Abbas in Beijing. Nevertheless, however, resolving the Israel-Palestinian conflict remains a complex issue, and China's role in the mediation process may evolve as the situation also develops. As China's economic woes continue to pile up, the future seems to be more and more pessimistic to a lot of different people. Recent college graduates in China are adjusting their expectations in a challenging job market. According to a report by Lei Ping Big Data Research Institute, the average monthly salary expectations for 2024 college graduates in China is 8,000 yuan, about $1,100, which is slightly lower than the previous year. This shift reflects the impact of the pandemic and economic uncertainties. However, it is important to note that this salary expectation is still 8.3% higher than it was in 2021, indicating at least some level of optimism. Furthermore, recent graduates are becoming more open to relocating to lower-tier cities for job opportunities. New regional powerhouses, often referred to as first tier cities, are offering competitive salary increases to attract fresh graduates, especially in industries like electric vehicles, smart home appliances, integrated circuits, and electronic information. Cities like Hefei and Xi'an have seen notable salary increases, up 29 and 27% respectively, as they seek to develop tech clusters and meet the demands of local industries. These graduates are also more willing to consider blue-collar jobs, with 60% of the class of 2024 saying that they would take such positions if they can't find jobs in their preferred fields. The most sought-after blue-collar roles include service work in food, drink, and entertainment, delivery riders, ride-hailing drivers, and couriers, as well as traditional manufacturing, agriculture, and forestry positions. To cope with the evolving job market, some graduates are turning to flexible employment opportunities. A separate report revealed that nearly 20% of job postings in China are for flexible roles, a significant increase over the past 3 years. These flexible positions can include various types of work, but top students are more likely to secure them through job aggregation platforms. In contrast, many graduates may find basic support jobs at local companies through referrals or local talent searches. And finally, let's take a look at what's happening with Australia-China relationships. Cheng Lei, an Australian journalist who was detained in China for over 3 years, has been released and returned to Australia. Cheng, who was working as a business reporter for China's state-run English-language TV station, CGTN, was arrested in August 13, 2020. She was accused of illegally supplying state secrets overseas, but her charges were never made public. Her release comes at a time when relations between Australia and China appear to be improving after tensions escalated during the pandemic. Cheng's release coincides with the lifting of China's ban on Australian exports like barley, coal, and timber, suggesting a gradual easing of diplomatic tensions. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced Cheng's release and noted that her return would be warmly welcomed. He also mentioned that he would be facilitating his trip to China at a mutually agreed time later this year. Cheng Lei spent the first 6 months of her detention in solitary confinement without charges and was later tried in secret in a Chinese court. Australia's ambassador to China and her family were unable to witness the proceedings or learn the specific charges against her. China's Ministry of State Security stated that Cheng was deported after serving a sentence of 2 years and 11 months, but her actual sentence date has not been disclosed. Cheng, who was not born in China and moved to Melbourne, Australia as a child, had previously expressed her longing for sunlight and her homeland during her imprisonment. Cheng's case is one of several involving foreign nationals detained in China, with some critics suggesting that China uses prisoners as political bargaining chips. Notably, Canadians Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor were detained in China between 2018 and 2021 and accused of espionage. They were released shortly after the US dropped an extradition request against Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou. Another Australian, Yang Huangjun, remains in prison in China under national security charges. And there you have it, the most important China news you might have missed this week. Make sure to subscribe to stay in the loop. I'm Triton Spade, and thank you very much for watching.